Welcome to this tutorial. Today, we're going to talk about forming adverbs. Let's get started. An adverb is a word or set of words that modifies verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. Note that they usually modify verbs, telling us how often, when, or where something was done. Have a look at the example over here. We walked really slowly. The adverb slowly modifies the verb walked, telling us how we walked. Remember that we form adverbs by adding ly to an adjective. For example, slow, slowly. And when adjectives end in l, we keep the l and add ly. For example, careful, carefully. And when adjectives end in y, we change the y to I and then add ly. For example, easy, easily. And when adjectives end in able, ible, or le, we replace the e with y. For example, probable, probably. Terrible, terribly. Gentle, gently. And when adjectives end in ic, we add ally at the end. For example, economic, economically. Note that sometimes adjectives end in ly, as in friendly, lively. And when this happens, we cannot change it into an adverb by adding ly. And so it's better to use, as in, for example, in a friendly way or manner. Have a look at the example below. He talked to me in a friendly manner. Note that the following adverbs have the same form as the adjective early, fast, hard, high, late, near, straight, or wrong. Have a look at the following examples. The train is very fast. Fast in this sentence is an adjective. It modifies the noun train. And in this sentence, the train goes fast. Fast is an adverb because it modifies the verb goes. Now the adverb well corresponds to the adjective good. Have a look at the example below. Tom is a good student. He studies well. Good in the sentence modifies the noun student, and so it is an adjective. Well, on the other hand, is an adverb that modifies the verb studies. And the adverb hardly is not related to the meaning of hard. The adverb hardly has the meaning almost not. Have a look at the example below. Hardly anyone writes to me these days, meaning almost no one writes to me these days. And in the sentence, Susan ate hardly anything, means Susan ate almost nothing. And now, let's review forming adverbs and practice a bit. Remember that we form adverbs by adding ly to an adjective. And when adjectives end in l, we add ly. When adjectives end in y, we change the y to I, then add ly. And when adjectives end in able, I-B-L-E, L-E, we replace the E with Y. And when adjectives end in I-C, we simply add A-L-L-Y. Now read the following adjectives and change them to adverbs. Quick, quickly. Simple, simply. Angry, angrily. Faithful, faithfully. Happy, happily. Calm, calmly. Comfortable, comfortably. Romantic, romantically. Beautiful, beautifully. Incredible, incredibly. Remember that adjectives ending in ly, such as friendly or lively, can't be made into adverbs by adding ly. Instead, we use it as such, in a friendly way or manner. Provide the correct form of the following sentence. Julian was speaking friendly. Julian was speaking in a friendly way or manner. Also note that the following adverbs have the same form as the adjectives early, fast, hard, high, late, near, straight, and wrong. Read the following sentences and decide whether the words in bold are used as adjectives or adverbs. Peter is a late bloomer. Late in the sentence is used as an adjective. The train arrived late. Late in the sentence is used as an adverb. Note that the adverb hardly is not related to the meaning of hard. The adverb hardly has the meaning almost not. Read the following sentence and provide a similar sentence using the word hardly. There was very little traffic. There was hardly any traffic. Here is a short story forming adverbs. Listen as I read so you can see how they are used in real-life conversation. After I'm done, make sure you understand all the grammar and read aloud yourself so that you can work on your own fluency and pronunciation. I miss Anna terribly. We hardly ever see her. I understand you completely. I haven't seen her for ages. At least she often calls us. Yeah, she doesn't forget calling us regularly. Especially with her job. She works very hard. She told me yesterday that she had to work overtime. She must be so tired. I'll try to persuade her to take a vacation and come here. She definitely needs to rest to work productively. And now it's time for you to practice on your own. Read the following sentences and fill in the gaps with the adverbs from the box. Hard, happily, hardly, well, successfully. A. Alan dances very and never steps on people's feet. B. I can believe it. C. And they lived ever after. D. We completed the course. E. Susan worked very and was promoted in February. And now rewrite each sentence so that it has a similar meaning and contains the adverb in brackets. A. Sam didn't sleep well. Badly. B. Jane lives abroad, so her friends almost never see her. Hardly ever. C. Lucy's parents are slow walkers. Slowly. D. The couple lived together and were happy. Happily. E. Philip is ill. Well. Now, let's check your answers. Alan dances very well and never steps on people's feet. I can hardly believe it. And they lived happily ever after. We completed the course successfully. Susan worked very hard and was promoted in February. Sam slept badly. Jane lives abroad, so her friends hardly ever see her. Lucy's parents walk slowly. The couple lived happily together. Philip isn't feeling well. Thank you for watching this tutorial. Welcome to this tutorial. Today we're going to talk about adverbs of manner. Let's get started. Remember that an adverb is a word or set of words that modifies verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. Note that they usually modify verbs, telling us how often, when, or where something was done. As in the example over here, we walked really slowly. The adverb slowly modifies the verb walked, and it tells us how we walked. Now, an adverb of manner tells us how something happens. Have a look at the example below. I carefully read the note left on the counter. Now, the adverb of manner carefully modifies the verb read, and it tells us how we read. Also note that adverbs of manner are usually placed either before the main verb or after the object. Have a look at the examples below. Tom quickly left the building. Now, the adverb of manner quickly modifies the main verb left, and it comes before it. And in this sentence, Tom left the building quickly. Again, the adverb of manner quickly modifies the main verb left, but it comes after the object, building. Note that such adverbs as well, badly, hard, fast are always placed after the verb. Have a look at the examples below. Alice hard work. This sentence is incorrect because the adverb is placed before the verb. The correct form would be Alice worked hard. And when there is more than one verb in a clause, the position of the adverb is very important. Let's have a look at the examples below. Samuel slowly decided to leave the party. Now, in this sentence, the adverb slowly modifies the verb decided, not leave. And in this sentence, Samuel decided to leave the party slowly. The adverb slowly describes or modifies the clause to leave the party, not decided. Now, some writers put an adverb of manner at the beginning of the sentence. This is only to catch the reader's attention. Have a look at the example below. Confidently, she entered the room. Now let's review the use of adverbs of manner and practice a bit. Remember that we use adverbs of manner to show how something happens. Read the following sentence and fill in the blank using the appropriate adverb of manner. I typed the message. Hurry. I typed the message hurriedly. Remember that we place adverbs of manner either before the main verb or after the object. Now read the following sentence and add an adverb of manner before the main verb and after the object. And the sentence ended. And the sentence ended abruptly. And the sentence abruptly ended. Also, remember to always place such adverbs as well, badly, hard, and fast after the verb. Rewrite the following sentence. Finn well on his exam to do. Finn did well on his exam. Remember, the deposition of the adverb is very important when there is more than one verb in a clause. Read the following sentence and decide what the adverb modifies. They quietly asked us to leave the house. The adverb quietly modifies the verb asked. They asked us to leave the house quietly. The adverb quietly describes the clause to leave the house. Note that a writer can put an adverb of manner at the beginning of a sentence to catch the reader's attention. Rewrite the following sentence. He, the knife, to pick slowly. Slowly, he picked up the knife. Here is a short story using adverbs of manner. Listen as I read so you can see how they are used in real-life conversation. After I'm done, make sure you understand all the grammar and read aloud yourself so that you can work on your own fluency and pronunciation. I don't know what's going on with Kate. What do you mean? Well, she finishes her meal quickly and storms back to her room. When she is in the living room, she just quietly reads something and doesn't say a word. And today, she angrily slammed the door right in front of me. Maybe she's upset. Or is she angry with you? I don't know. Whenever I try to initiate a conversation, she answers passively aggressively. Be bold and ask her. You are siblings after all. She can't stay mad forever. And now it's time for you to practice on your own. Read the following sentences and fill in the blanks with the adverbs from the box. Truthfully, badly, patiently, safely, recklessly. A. The score was 3-2. Even though we lost, I don't think we played. B. I don't want to be with her in the same car ever again. She drives. C. The plane landed on the runway. D. The judge asked him to answer the questions. E. Everyone waited for Mr. Smith to arrive. And now, read the following sentences and complete them by changing the adjectives in brackets into adverbs. A. Is anyone here? Whispered Megan, cautious. B. She spoke so quiet that the class couldn't hear her. C. You are late, said Jane, angry. D. I think our national football team played really good. E. She, happy, ran into her open arms. And now, let's check your answers. The score was 3-2. Even though we lost, I don't think we played badly. I don't want to be with her in the same car ever again. She drives recklessly. The plane landed safely on the runway. The judge asked him to answer the questions truthfully. Everyone waited patiently for Mr. Smith to arrive. Is anyone here? Whispered Megan cautiously. She spoke so quietly that the class couldn't hear her. You are late, said Jane angrily. I think our national football team played really well. She happily ran into his open arms. Thank you for watching this tutorial. Welcome to this tutorial. Today we're going to talk about adverbs of place. Let's get started. Remember that an adverb is a word or set of words that modifies verbs, adjectives, or other verbs. Note that adverbs usually modify verbs, telling us how often, when, or where something was done. Have a look at the example over here. We walked really slowly. Now the adverb slowly modifies the verb walked. It tells us how we walked. Now adverbs of place tell us where something happens. They do not modify adjectives or other adverbs. Have a look at the example below. I'm going back to school in a month. The adverb of place, back, modifies the verb going. It tells us where we are going. Remember that adverbs of place are usually placed after the main verb or after the clause that they modify. Have a look at the examples below. come in. The adverb in modifies the main verb come. And in the sentence, Helen looked around trying to find a familiar face in the crowd. Note that the adverb of place around modifies the main verb looked, where Helen looked. Now the adverbs of place that end in where express the idea of location without specifying a specific location or direction. Have a look at the example below. I couldn't find my cat anywhere. The adverb of place anywhere expresses the idea of location, but it does not specify a specific location or direction. And adverbs of place that end in wards express movement in a particular direction. Have a look at the example below. Our dog likes to walk backwards. The adverb of place backwards expresses the movement of the dog. And with verbs of movement, here means towards or with the speaker, and there means away from or not with the speaker. Have a look at the examples below. You can hang your coat here. The adverb of place here tells us that you are standing near the hanger. And in the sentence, and you can put your shoes there. The adverb of place there tells us that you are pointing at the shoes rack. You are not standing near it. Note that here and there are combined with prepositions to make many common adverbial phrases. Have a look at the examples below. Could you come over here? Over is a preposition, and here the adverb. Together, they make an adverbial phrase. What are you doing up there? Again, up is a preposition, and there the adverb of place. And here and there are placed at the beginning of the sentence in exclamations or when emphasis is needed. Note that they are followed by the verb if the subject is a noun, or by a pronoun if the subject is a pronoun. Have a look at the example below. Here comes the train. The adverb of place here is used in the sentence to create emphasis. And note that it's followed by the verb, and its subject is train, a noun. And in the sentence, there it is. Note that the adverb of place there is followed by a pronoun, which is also the subject of the sentence. Now let's review the use of adverbs of place and practice a bit. Remember that we use adverbs of place to show where something happens. Now make sure to place them after the main verb or after the clause they modify. Create a sentence using the following words in the bracket. Close when the door, you, out to go. Close the door when you go out. Also remember that we use adverbs of place that end in where to express the idea of location without specifying a specific location or direction. Read the following sentence and underline the appropriate adverb of place. I want to go anywhere, nowhere, somewhere nice for our anniversary. I want to go somewhere nice for our anniversary. Note that we use adverbs of place that end in wards to express movement in a particular direction. Rewrite the following sentence using an adverb of place that ends in wards. The air balloon drifted up. The air balloon drifted upwards. Remember that here and there are combined with prepositions to make many common adverbial phrases. Read the following sentence and underline the adverbial phrase. I wonder how little Tom managed to get under there. Under there. Also remember that we place here and there at the beginning of the sentence in exclamation or when emphasis is needed. Note that they are followed by the verb if the subject is a noun or by a pronoun if the subject is a pronoun. Read the following sentences and fill in the blank using the appropriate forms of the words in the bracket. Here, the cake to come. Happy birthday. Here comes the cake. Happy birthday. There, you to be. I've been looking for you. There you are. I've been looking for you. Here is a short story using adverbs of place. Listen as I read so you can see how they are used in real-life conversation. After I'm done, make sure you understand all the grammar and read aloud yourself so that you can work on your own fluency and pronunciation. Mike, have you seen my phone anywhere? I can't seem to find it. Try looking over there. I think you were sitting there last time. I've already tried looking there. Maybe I left it somewhere outside when I went shopping. I don't think you even took it with you. Wait, I can simply call you. There it is. And now it's time for you to practice on your own. Read the following sentences and fill in the gaps with the adverbs from the box. Eastwards, there, nearby, homewards, nowhere. A. After working the whole day straight, we headed. B. I have to go. I lost everything. C. We wanted to build a small park, but we lacked the funds. D. The ship sailed. E. Put the bags. We can unpack them later. Now, read the following sentences and underline the appropriate word or phrase. A. Mary turned over backwards and went back to sleep. B. There was a small lake outside, abroad. C. Is there everywhere, anywhere, I can find a perfect cup of coffee? D. Could you come over nearby, here? E. Here the birthday girl comes. Comes the birthday girl. Now, let's check your answers. After working the whole day straight, we headed homewards. I have nowhere to go. I lost everything. We wanted to build a small park nearby, but we lacked the funds. The ship sailed eastwards. Put the bags there. We can unpack them later. Mary turned over and went back to sleep. There was a small lake outside. Is there anywhere I can find a perfect cup of coffee? Could you come over here? Here comes the birthday girl. Thank you for watching this tutorial. Welcome to this tutorial. Today, we're going to talk about adverbs of time. Let's get started. Remember that an adverb is a word or set of words that modifies verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. Note that adverbs usually modify verbs, telling us how often, when, or where something was done. Have a look at the example over here. We walked really slowly. Note that the adverb slowly modifies the verb walked, and it tells us how we walked. Now, adverbs of time tell us when an action happened, for how long, or how often. Note that adverbs of time are invariable. Have a look at the example below. Sorry, I'll call you in a minute. The adverbial phrase in a minute tells us when I'll call. Note that adverbs of time are usually placed at the end of the sentence, as in the example below. I'll do it tomorrow. Note that the adverb of time tomorrow is placed at the end of the sentence. But sometimes these adverbs can be put at the beginning of the sentence, and that's to give a different emphasis. Have a look at the example below. Later, they noticed his absence. Note that the adverb of time later is placed at the beginning of the sentence to give emphasis. And in the adverbial phrases that tell us for how long something has been happening, for is always followed by an expression of duration, while since is always followed by an expression of a point in time. Have a look at the examples below. They'll be away for 20 days. Note that for is followed by an expression of duration, 20 days. And in this sentence, I haven't seen you since June. Since is followed by an expression of a point in time, which is June. Note that adverbs that tell us how often something happens express the frequency of an action. They are usually placed before the main verb, but after auxiliary verbs. Have a look at the examples below. Sarah usually wakes up at 7 a.m. Now the adverb of time usually is placed before the main verb, which in this case is wakes. But in this sentence, you must always be kind to others. Note that the adverb of time always comes before the auxiliary verb, be. But note that the main verb of the sentence comes after the auxiliary verb. But there is an exception, and that is when the main verb is to be, in which case the adverb goes after the main verb. Have a look at the example below. I am never late. Note that the adverb of time never comes after the auxiliary verb to be, am. And if you need to use more than one adverb of time in a sentence, use them in the following order. 1. How long? 2. How often? 3. When? Have a look at the example below. Peter worked at the mall for 4 days, every week last year. Note that 4 days tells us how long. Every week tells us how often. And last year tells us when. Now let's review the use of adverbs of time and practice a bit. Remember that we use adverbs of time to show when an action happened or for how long it has been happening. Note that we place these adverbs at the end of the sentence. Create a sentence using the words in the brackets. Why, yesterday, you to be absent. Why were you absent yesterday? Note that sometimes adverbs of time can be put at the beginning of the sentence, and that's to give a different emphasis. Create a sentence using the following words in the bracket. James to realize soon that he to make a mistake. Soon, James realized that he made a mistake. Also, remember that in the adverbial phrases that tell us for how long something has been happening, for is always followed by an expression of duration, while since is always followed by an expression of a point in time. Now read the following sentences and fill in the blanks using for or since. I've been waiting for you an hour. I've been waiting for you for an hour. Bill has been trying to find a job. May. Bill has been trying to find a job since May. Now we place adverbs that tell us how often something happens before the main verb, but after auxiliary verbs. Note that if there is a verb to be, then the adverb goes after the main verb. Now create a sentence using the following words in the bracket. We to buy groceries often together. We often buy groceries together. He to be late usually for classes. He is usually late for classes. And if you need to use more than one adverb of time in a sentence, make sure you use them in the following order. 1. How long? 2. How often? 3. When? Now read the following sentences and create a sentence using the following words in the bracket. Lily to study every day for 5 hours a month ago. She had a difficult exam at university. Lily studied for 5 hours every day a month ago. She had a difficult exam at university. Here is a short story using adverbs of time. Listen as I read so you can see how they are used in real-life conversation. After I'm done, make sure you understand all the grammar and read aloud yourself so that you can work on your own fluency and pronunciation. When was the last time you cooked? I cook every day, so that must be today. When was the last time you took a bath? I don't remember really. I rarely take baths. I am more of a shower person. When was the last time you slept in? Oh, it was about a week ago. It was a wonderful Sunday. I woke up late, stayed in bed for a couple of hours, and just enjoyed life. Now, it's time for you to practice on your own. Read the following sentences and fill in the blanks with the adverbs from the box. Daily, for hours, today, every year, later. A. I don't feel like doing my laundry. B. This newspaper arrives. My grandpa reads it while eating breakfast all the time. C. When I was a kid, I would play video games. D. We had a great Christmas tradition. We sent postcards to all the relatives we have. E. I think my parents came home. I'll call you. Now read the following sentences and fill in the gaps with for or since. A. Peter just leaves if he waits for someone more than 5 minutes. B. We've been friends with Sarah ages. C. Emily moved to Peru and we haven't heard from her. D. You look much healthier. I saw you last time. E. She's been depressed months. She must see a doctor. Now, let's check your answers. I don't feel like doing my laundry today. This newspaper arrives daily. My grandpa reads it while eating breakfast all the time. When I was a kid, I would play video games for hours. We have a great Christmas tradition. Every year, we send postcards to all the relatives we have. I think my parents came home. I'll call you later. Peter just leaves if he waits for someone for more than 5 minutes. We've been friends with Sarah for ages. Emily moved to Peru and we haven't heard from her since. You look much healthier since I saw you last time. She's been depressed for months. She must see a doctor. Thank you for watching this tutorial.